It's finally here. The moment we've all been waiting for. Luffy versus Kizaru. And this isn't just a warm-up round. The Admiral showed up with a hidden ace, ready to crash the lab and ruin the Straw Hats' escape plan with Vegapunk. The question is, can they get rid of this laser-shooting monster? The episode kicks off with Egghead Island wrapped in darkness. Full horror movie vibes. But then boom! The sun breaks through like a stage spotlight at a concert, lighting the place up like Times Square on New Year's Eve day. Cut to a random city, and people are sprinting like the PS6 just dropped. Newspapers fall from the sky like confetti. And the headlines? Pure, internet-breaking material. First, Garp is reported missing in Hakanosu. Then, Straw Hat Luffy is accused of taking hostages at Egghead. You already know the world is flipping out. Back in East Blue, Makino's bar is a mess. The regulars are in denial. Luffy? A villain? Nah. The mayor's trying to keep the peace, saying Garp's a legend. He's not going out like that. Meanwhile, some clown is having a full-on meltdown and even yells at a baby. And what does the baby do? Laughs at Luffy's face on the front page. Up in the mountains, the bandits are stressing hard. Nobody walks out of Pirate Island alive. Dawn tells everyone to shut up. She's trying to piece together what Garp and Luffy are up to. She's bawling like she just watched Ace die all over again. Suddenly, birds scatter. The ground shakes. It's like Big Mom fell off a skyscraper in heels. Then comes a tsunami, roaring like it wants a rematch. This isn't just a quake. It's the biggest earthquake ever recorded. Little Leon nearly drowns. Again, people scream to run for the hills, but it's already too late. And the only folks not stressing? The celestial dragons, sitting pretty in their sky palaces, acting like gravity is optional. This megaquake hit 6 days after Lelugia got deleted from the map. The Navy says it's now just a giant hole in the ocean. And who do we all know is behind it? Imusama's earthquake DLC just launched, and sea levels rose a full meter around the world. Islands sank, beaches vanished. Sharks started showing up in people's living rooms like it's Shark Week. Back on Egghead, it's not a few Navy ships pulling up, it's a whole armada. 100 warships roll in Marine Ford style, with over 30,000 troops. Leading the charge are 9 vice admirals, all looking like they just bit into raw lemons. Except for Doll, because let's be honest, she's got the internet broken in half. Then, sliding in like he owns the place, Kizaru. Man shows up with zero urgency. Meanwhile, the Sea Beast makers are holding it down, until Kizaru casually laser blasts a robo-giraffe straight through the chest, no hesitation. Sentomaru pulls up like, yo, chill, those are our robo-beasts. But Kizaru, with all the emotional awareness of a brick wall, hits back with, they started it. After 10 seconds of chaos, Kizaru flips into full gamer mode and slurps chicken ramen like he's waiting on a Genshin update.
I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
Man's about to fight the future of the world, and he's sipping noodles like it's casual Friday. Egghead is crawling with Mark III pacifistas under Sentomaru's command. Kizaru tells him to stop the rebellion and rejoin the Navy, but Sentomaru fires back. Listen here, Lightbulb. I don't do betrayal. Then the truth bomb drops. Uncle Punk developed the pacifista laser tech by studying Kizaru's powers. And now that same glowing menace is here to wipe him out? Kizaru delivers the worst line imaginable. I don't want to kill you, but digging into Void's Century? That's a no-go. Translation? I'm just following orders like a good little government puppet. And guess who gets blamed for all this? The Straw Hats. All because they stopped Rob Lucci from giving Vegapunk an involuntary buzz cut. But what ends up in the headlines? Pure fiction. Straw Hats kidnap Vegapunk and barricade themselves in Egghead. And who's loving this tabloid energy? Saturn, sitting back, sipping tea while Morgan spins the fakest news since Eni's lobby. One of the CP0 grunts checks in. Sir, our team got folded by Sentomaru. And thanks to Egghead's unbreakable barrier, nobody's going in or out. Saturn calmly asks, where's the lab staff? The Marine says they evacuated. Their ships were spotted nearby. And Saturn, ever the humanitarian, says, sink them, all of them. Then he tops it off with, Bonnie, spare her. She's not useful anymore. So just to recap, he's fine nuking thousands of innocent researchers, but wants to let the girl go? Make it make sense. Suddenly, Kizaru's crew picks up a weird transmission coming from inside Egghead. Everyone freezes. The Admiral pulls out his Denden Mushi, taps in, and it's York. She's straight up calling Mary Geos like it's corporate HR. Why are y'all trying to erase me? I'm the one who snitched on Stella. The Gore CI hit back with cold-blooded clarity. You're still a Vegapunk. You gotta go. But York fires back. If I cared about the Void Century, would I have handed over all your precious forbidden data? Then she does the full villain monologue. Laughs like a Bond antagonist. Egghead belongs to me now. My Seraphim will destroy anyone who tries me. You really want to start a war with me? The room goes dead silent. Then one of the Gorosei suddenly switches tone. You know what? We changed our minds. Can you make the Mother Flame again? Yes, the same world-ending weapon that erased Lelusia like it was never there. York starts giggling like she just got a job offer from Elon Musk. I knew y'all would come crawling back. She explains the only facility that can make more Mother Flame is right there on Egghead. So if they scratch her, that world-ending weapon, it's gone. They even offered to make York a celestial dragon. And just when York's riding that high, she flips, full meltdown mode, ugly crying, screaming, "Get me out of here. Luffy's gonna kill me." It's giving Bond villain breakdown energy real quick. Meanwhile, Luffy's over there munching on steak like it's brunch hour. Zoro's like, "So, what do we do with her now?" And York is shrieking, demanding someone wipe the Straw Hats off the map. Even Nami has a Glock out, ready to turn the traitor bot into scrap metal. But Luffy, man, just shrugs. Let's use her as a human shield. Easy. While York is spiraling into a breakdown worthy of an entire soap opera season, Luffy's just chilling. Steak in one hand, chill vibes in the other. Meanwhile, Sanji's flipping pancakes for Bonnie like he's on The Bachelor, Egghead Edition. Robin looks like she barely made it out of a horror movie alive. And Chopper, MVP of the week, is patching her up like it's just another day in the Straw Hat ER. Turns out Robin's a reason Vegapunk still has his brain attached. Everyone's still shook at York. Sodakin York outsmarted 6 other Vegapunks like it was a group project, and she just Googled all the answers the night before. Usopp is spiraling like a dad who just realized he missed tax season. We're never getting out of here. But Luffy? He flashes that goofy grin. Relax, bro, it's Tuesday. Then Luffy grabs a Denden Mushi and bolts toward York like it's a game of tag. And he drops the line. My name is Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Then he hits them with a combo. We've teamed up with Dr. Vegapunk. And if you want to keep York's CPU from getting clapped, you'd better pull your troops back. York's now in full telenovela mode. Ugly crying. Screaming for someone, anyone, to save her. But this isn't a Disney movie. No one's coming. Meanwhile, the Marines are sweating bullets. Wait, Straw Hat Luffy might actually be built different. Even Vivi's somewhere out there like, I've been defending him on Twitter for years, and now he's going full villain arc? Luffy's dropped the Pirate King mic on the whole Navy. York's crying like betrayal stubbed her toe. And over in the command room, the Gorosei are scrambling. Who's still alive in the lab? They ask. Just as Luffy's about to give them a full Egghead tour guide speech, Robin intercepts, slaps a hand over his mouth, and hangs up the Denden Mushi like it just leaked spoilers for the One Piece finale. She snaps. Luffy, stop handing out state secrets like Costco samples. Usopp's in the back yelling, Bro, this isn't a prank channel. It's the entire Navy. Cut to Saturn, still looking like your grandma's antique vase. But with murder vibes, he says there are only 3 things worth protecting. York, Punk Records, aka Vegapunk's Google Drive, and the Mother Flame Energy Plant. Everything else? Trash. Burn it. Doesn't even get a funeral. Then someone mentions Rob Lucci's squad is still in the lab. Saturn's response? Cool, who cares? He's already full anime villain at this point, whispering to himself like it's poetry slam night. Humans are like cockroaches. You squash one, 3 more pop up. Sir Therapy is free, please. York, still somehow not muted, reminds him she made a deal with the Gorosei. And if you lay a finger on me, I'll O'Hara this whole island. Boom. That's the trigger. Nami goes full Thor mode, channels Zeus, and slaps York so hard she skips Thursday and lands on Friday. That slap? So clean, it echoed through the entire anime multiverse. Robin freezes. Everyone's stunned. Chopper's like, oh, we're throwing hands now. York tries to act tough again. I'm telling the Gorosei. Nami, tell them from the afterlife. Zoro, ever the moral compass, steps in. Nami, chill. She's unarmed. But everyone forgets, York's most dangerous weapon isn't in her hands. It's her mouth. This girl had betrayed more people in one day than Buggy has in his entire pirate career. Robin, still bruised but back in action, finally speaks up. I'm feeling better, thanks to Chopper. And Chopper? Bro lights up like he just got complimented by Beyonce. Ears twitching. Blushing like he's got a middle school crush. Adorable. Vegapunk gives Robin props too. If it weren't for you, York would have turned me into tech scrap. And Chopper adds, Usopp helped. Usopp's like, yeah, totally. I mean, I was just looking for Zoro and accidentally bumped into the Seraphim, but I lived. MVP status? Debatable comedy status? Secured. Kaku's in the corner like, bro, please stop embarrassing us. Usopp's trying to hear what happened in the basement, but all he hears is CP0 yelling, thanks for the food. Yep, the Straw Hats have been feeding their prisoners. Because even pirates have manners, apparently. Now the CP0 agents just want out. They're done. Completely over it. We don't even care where we go. Just get us away from the Seraphim. Usopp asks, are they gonna be okay? Vegapunk replies like a proud dad. Relax. I bubble wrapped them. Turns out, he used sea stone-infused bubbles made from the same material as pacifista armor. We're talking about bubbles that eat explosions for breakfast. Inside one of those bubbles, Mini Mihawk, and he is livid. Being sealed like leftover sushi was definitely not on his to-do list today. Meanwhile, S-Snake tells him to stop whining. No one told me to blow anyone up yet. Frankie thanks her for unpetrifying him, and then everything pauses. Wait a minute, why would she do that? Vegapunk is baffled. He never programmed her to undo petrification. She just blushes and says, Luffy told me to. Instant Hancock flashbacks. She's down bad for that cartoon god. After Snake melts from Luffy's smile and Frankie calls the most respectful unpetrification ever, Vegapunk's still confused. I didn't code her to simp like that. But Jinbei is already laughing. She's just like the real Hancock. Oda did it again. Somewhere out there, Boa sneezes and instinctively blushes. Then Nami jumps in like the MVP she is. That bubble gun? Absolute clutch. It even saved Sanji. Lilith gets her flowers for a second. She trapped S-Shark in a bubble like it was a shiny Pokemon and saved the Simp Prince himself. Meanwhile, Atlas tries unlocking the barrier again. Error. Still no luck. The island's locked tighter. Then Eni's lobby on lockdown. York, of course, starts laughing. It's useless. I locked it myself. And guess what? I didn't tell anyone else to code. Lilith looks ready to go nuclear. She's 2 seconds from turning York into a Bluetooth speaker. But York just keeps flexing. I am the insurance policy. I am the code. If I go, the world government loses its favorite murder machine. Luffy just stares and says, all that talking and still no progress? Usopp gives us a classic, told you so. And yeah, they were never walking out of here without an anime-level escape plan. Cut to Rob Lucci lurking in the corner, doing main character monologues in the shadows. He's counting Vegapunk satellites and mumbling about Straw Hat power levels like he's scouting for Dragon Ball. Usopp's like, yo, what are you whispering about? Lucci goes, nothing, just thinking. Sure, buddy, that's the look of someone writing a Navy report in his head. Then, the Queen herself, Stussy, walks in with the worst news of the day. They've got us completely surrounded. 100 ships, 30,000 Marines, and Kizaru's glowing like a light bulb, ready to cook us all like sashimi. Sanji sprints over like a golden retriever, with a tray in his hands. Would Milady care for some tea? We all know that's not the kind of tea he wanted to serve. Stussy glances at Lucci and says, it was just a bite. Don't be mad. And the way Lucci looks at her, bro, relax. You're the side quest. She's main story content. Vegapunk cuts in to ask Nami about the escape route. She pulls out the log pose they calibrated back in Wano. Destination? Elbaf. Luffy and Usopp start celebrating like it's Christmas morning. They've been dreaming of the land of giants since episode 100. Even Edison's dusty hard drive can't process why they're this hyped. Vegapunk says the Sunny is docked at the labor phase, but the front port's completely blocked. So, plan B? Use Vega Force 1, yes, that's actually what's called Fly Up, and Coup to burst off the back of the island. Only problem? Vega Force can't fly outside Egghead. It crashes faster than Yamato's post-Wano screen time. Frankie's like, no worries, the Sunny can launch itself a whole kilometer. Vegapunk is stunned. It runs on Cola, yes, Cola, and dreams. Don't question it. But first, they've got to bring the barrier down. York? Still holding the passcode, like it's the last slice of pizza at a family reunion. But never underestimate Straw Hat problem solving. The crew starts brainstorming like caffeine-fueled hacker pirates. Frankie grabs Lilith. I'm bringing the bazooka. Meanwhile, Luffy and Bonnie have already vanished. They launch themselves off the lab like it's a parkour YouTube short. No parachutes, just vibes. They've got a plan. Move the Sunny to the back. Wait for the barrier to drop. Blast off like a cola-powered rocket. Lilith's beyond excited. It's her first time leaving Egghead. Luffy's already regretting not grabbing extra food. Bonnie? Hangry. She's in full pizza withdrawal mode and ready to throw hands. She complains there's no pizza. Luffy shrugs. We've got cheese. And of course, Sanji could turn that into a 5-star meal blindfolded. Bonnie's already simping. Good with his fists and in the kitchen? Girl, get in line. Sanji's a red flag wrapped in a tuxedo. Rubber Boy finally asks, why the sudden change in mood? Bonnie says it's because she's finally done hunting Vegapunk. That weight? Gone. Luffy just nods. Good. Now stop crying like a baby every 5 minutes. Meanwhile, over on the Marine side, Rob Lucci is casually texting the Navy like in a family group chat. He's sending real-time updates on everything happening inside Egghead. Over in the VIP Villain Lounge, Grandpa Saturn's sipping tea like everything's fine. Kizaru strolls in with a status update. Saturn asks, Luffy tried bluffing again? Kizaru nods. Yeah, he's trying to act like he's running the show. Spoiler alert, he's not. Saturn says, can't you just phase to the barrier? You're literally made of light. Kizaru responds, "Sure, but Sentomaru's guarding it." Saturn shrugs. "So?" Kizaru hesitates. "He's my old ramen sharing buddy. Can't blast him just yet." Turns out, if they attack Sentomaru, the Sea, Beast, and 50 pacifistas will turn the Navy fleet into tempura. Saturn changes tactics. "Alright, do we at least know where the energy plant is?" Kizaru nods. Lucci already sent the details. Stealthy little cat. Cue the boss music. Kizaru zips in, glowing like a Christmas tree, smirking like he just sold sunglasses to a blind man. Sentomaru, Sumo King of Egghead, steps up like a boss. "My defense is the strongest in the world." The clash lights up the entire island like someone lit dynamite on the 4th of July. Everyone's panicking. Marines screaming. Alarms blaring. Den and Mushy buzzing like crazy. Luffy? He feels it in his rubber bones. A real heavyweight just stepped into the arena. Kizaru and Sentomaru start throwing hands like it's UFC, Admiral Edition. Despite all that light speed tech, Uncle Shiny can't get through Sentomaru's sumo defense. "My defense is unbreakable." Sentomaru launches himself into the air like a wrecking ball dipped in honor. Boom! The shockwave rattles the entire Navy fleet. Ships shaking. Seagulls fainting. Pacifistas glitching. The Vice Admirals? They jumping like it's Black Friday at Best Buy. Laser cannons charging like Hellfire super soakers. Dahl leads the charge. High heel blazing. Elegant violence in motion. And let's be honest, if she stepped on me, I'd say thank you, but I'd also need hospital-grade therapy after a second kick. Suddenly, monster attack. A massive sea lion chomps an entire battleship, like it's a sea-salted hot dog. Then comes a horned sea hound, headbutting another ship into sawdust. And their rat-faced, drill-nosed kaiju rolls up like a sleep-deprived Redemod, making Marines cry for their moms. It's a full sea beast jump scare marathon. Even creepier, one of them rolls up just to sniff people's necks. I'd have jumped ship on the spot. Just when things look beyond grim, Vice Admiral Peanut, built like a protein shake, dives in and hits a cow beast with Detroit smashed straight to the jaw. One of the Mark III pacifistas tries to snipe a ship, but Dahl dropkicks him so hard. The poor cyborg turns into space trash. No joke. This woman fights like she's got beef with the entire mecha genre. The rest of the Vice Admirals? They start roasting the Navy's own weapons like it's open mic night at Marineford. Inside, Usopp is screaming louder than a raccoon stuck in a trash bin. They're invading. Vegapunk's panicking. "Bro, I left 50 pacifistas with Sentomaru. What happened?" Cut the security cam. Kizaru's smug face is staring right back at them. Sabaody PTSD intensifies. York's over there laughing like a supervillain who just leaked the One Piece ending on Twitter. Zoro shuts her down with a single stare. Say one more word and you're sashimi. Outside, Sentomaru goes for a thunder slap. But Kizaru Matrix dodges like he's got Wi-Fi vision. Vegapunk tries guilt-tripping him. "Sorry I dragged you into this. I'd understand if you ran." But Edison steps in, full tech bro rage. "Enough drama. Go find the dang passcode." Sentomaru's trying to get his bearings, when suddenly Kizaru comes flying in with a knee straight to the soul. Sentomaru goes airborne and slams into the wall like Egghead's newest painting. Then it gets worse. Kizaru unleashes the Yasukani no Magatama and turns the floor into grated Swiss cheese. Somehow still conscious, Sentomaru yells, "I may have promised to Luffy, I'll protect Vegapunk." Kizaru asks, "Since when are you besties with pirates?" Sentomaru shouts, "Vegapunk is my savior. I'll fight anyone, Navy or not." He lunges and slices Kizaru clean in half. But this man is literally made of light. He reassembles like a Lego set from the underworld. Flashback time. We jump back to young Kizaru and Vegapunk out on a nature hike. No idea why, but suddenly, they find some bears knocked out cold. Except, turns out they were folded by a chubby little gremlin of a kid. It's baby Sentomaru, looking like a human punching glove. He's yelling, "I hate my village. They're all cowards. I'm never going back." Translation? He got kicked out for being a menace. He claims he's never hungry, but also wants a job to buy a rice ball. Make it make sense. The Marines laugh. Vegapunk? He sees potential. "Want to be my bouncer?" Kid's stomach growls in Morse code, but he says yes anyway. Later, the kid runs up to Kizaru like, "Uncle, how do I protect Grandpa Punk?" And Kizaru teaches him. Everything. Flashback ends. Reality hits hard. Kizaru, eyes cold, fires another laser, straight to the face. Sentomaru goes flying like a ragdoll in a hurricane. Half the island gets leveled. Boom. Standing in the smoke like a final boss, Kizaru calmly orders the pacifistas. "Your commander's out cold. New orders. Sink the sea beasts." The bots? They switch sides instantly. Full betrayal mode. The sea beasts are stunned. "Yo, we were just teammates like 5 minutes ago." But the pacifistas don't care. They blast one of their former allies right in the dorsal fin. The Marines are stunned. The beasts? Betrayed. The vibe? Absolute chaos. A vice admiral runs up to report to Saturn, probably out of breath. Sir, the pacifistas have been hijacked. Sentomaru is now grilled bacon. Everyone's face drops. If a tank like Sentomaru got cooked that fast, Kizaru is officially in demon mode. Vegapunk, tears in his eyes, screams, shut down the defense system. Sentomaru's sacrifice can't be in vain. But then, guess who starts cackling in the back? York. She's laughing like she just saw a toddler fall off a scooter. Good luck, she says. I'm also a Vegapunk. We need to deactivate York button. Immediately, Vegapunk drops the coldest line of the arc. Kizaru is made of light. He can walk into this lab anytime he wants. Meanwhile, Kizaru's casually strolling up like he's on the way to brunch. Can't wait to see the Straw Hats again, he says. Real chill, like he didn't just nuke half the island. Back to the Straw Hats. They're already rolling out in the Vega Force, trying to escape. Lilith's piloting like she's been doing this since birth. Bonnie and Luffy, stuffing their faces like it's their last supper. Because hey, can't go to war on an empty stomach. Then alarms go off. Lilith slams the controls. There's no way. This place is locked tighter than Eni's lobby. But nope, Kizaru slices through barrier like butter on a summer day. He floats in, unfazed. I'm here to protect the plant, Punk Records, and maybe say goodbye to an old friend. Meaning, he's deleting Vegapunk. The Straw Hats outside lose it. They're out there, no barrier, no backup, and one very glowy admiral headed straight for them. Frankie tries to warn Luffy through the Denden Mushy. Inside the lab, Rob Lucci, Trader Tiger Supreme, is crouched like a snake in the grass. Stussy's just sipping tea like she's watching a soap opera. Then BAM, Lucci goes full stealth mode. He tries to shank Vegapunk right in the pancreas. The disrespect. But before the blade lands, Stussy tanks the hit. She drops with a dramatic flop that deserves an Oscar. Sanji snaps. He grabs Nami's bubble gun and traps Kaku like a dollar store magician doing party tricks. Zoro? Oh, it's on. He launches himself at Lucci like a man who hasn't slept in 3 days but still drinks pre-workout. Lucci tries to flex. With me and Kizaru, you're toast. Zoro claps back. Say, toast again, I'll cut you into breadcrumbs. They clash. Boom. And just like that, they crash straight out of lab. Gravity doesn't even apply here anymore. Kizaru spots the Vega Force sneaking off in the distance. And that's when it clicks. Aha, so that's why the Sunny wasn't docked. Detective Glowskin finally solves one. Frankie, already sweating oil, turns to ask Luffy for a plan, only to realize the man's already sprinting toward the chaos with a grin, so wide it's practically illegal. No hesitation, just pure Straw Hat energy. Before Kizaru can even say yo, Luffy dropkicks him clean out the scene.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Kizaru says that was rude. Luffy just grins. In the last 2 years, we got 100 times stronger, and you can tell that punch carried full-on Kaido flashbacks. Hard cut to Mary Geos. Alarms blaring. Panic everywhere. And guess who's back? Kuma. Soldiers are screaming. The invincible slave is back, baby. One of those gold-plated celestial clowns is yelling. Shoot him. Shoot the teddy bear. They throw cannonballs, chain him up like a monster, but Kuma ain't built like the rest. He claps back with a bear's shockwave so powerful. Marines go fly like extras in a one for all demo reel. Then, right when the Celestial Execution Squad is about to give a kill order, a certain lava chucker strolls in. Akainu, Mr. No Chill, the man who thinks diplomacy is a war crime. He shows up like, y'all got a bear problem? And then launches a hellhound punch so nasty. Kuma's skull almost turns a vapor. You still bleed like a human, he sneers. Kuma staggers but doesn't fall. Akainu's not impressed. Lava starts raining from the skies like a firestorm from hell itself. But Kuma teleports away at the last second. Gone. Flash forward. Bonnie's tied up. Fire in her eyes. Rage in her soul. Akainu looks down at her. You're just a doll now. You escaped once, but now? You're done. Bonnie glares, shaking with fury. You'll pay for what you did to my dad. Akainu smirks. His conscience is gone. He chose to become a weapon. Bonnie yells back, liar, my dad would never abandon me. The flashback ends. Back at Egghead, the battle's hitting its boiling point. Pacifistas have flipped sides and are now blasting the sea beast to kingdom come. 1 second they were teammates, the next, laser to the tail fin. Inside the factory, Marines are gearing up for a full invasion. They say Admiral Kizaru is already up in clouds. And who's waiting for him up there? Luffy, in gorilla mode, gear 5 loaded. He's floating on clouds with that classic goofy grin. Kizaru shows up, blocks a punch. But this time, he actually feels it. His whole vibe flips from smug to, oh no, I may have underestimated this Looney Tune. Then it hits. Goma Goma no Black Mamba. And Kizaru gets rattled like an old vending machine. He finally gets it. No wonder this kid beat Kaido. Kizaru tries to ask, why do you care so much about Vegapunk? Luffy snaps back, why do you want to kill the old Apple Man so bad? Kizaru dodges the question. I don't want to kill him. Orders are orders. Luffy's running low on juice, panting hard. Then boom, gets launched like a meteor from Kizaru's lightspeed roundhouse. Flashback again. Vegapunk, years ago, hyping up his giant robot project. Now, that same robot's getting diced into scrap metal like leftover lunch meat. Luffy crashes into the Vega Force. It explodes in a spray of sparks. Frankie and Bonnie fall. Sunny takes a hit. It's pure chaos. Luckily, Egghead's cloud floors cushion the fall. They land on fluffy sci-fi marshmallows instead of becoming pancakes. Lilith screams, "Get out!" The chair is giving off shocks. And then, boom, the Vega Force self-destructs, launching everyone like Team Rocket. Bonnie lands. She's still on her feet, but she's fuming. Rage radiates off her. Then, footsteps, slow, echoing, polished boots on steel. Kizaru steps through the wreckage, calm as ever. He looks at Bonnie and says, "Wow, you've grown. What are they putting in kids' juice boxes these days?" "Sir, this is a war zone. Maybe don't open with daycare jokes." Kizaru goes on, "I'm guessing you're here for revenge. But orders are orders. Vegapunk has to go." Bonnie doesn't flinch. "He's not my target anymore." She grips a cable from the floor, swings it like she's about to crack open a piñata full of trauma. Kizaru sidesteps it effortlessly. I don't really want to hurt familiar faces. He casually air yeets her into the laser barrier. She explodes on impact. No sound. Just zap. Mid-sentence. Gone. Frankie sees it. He snaps. How dare you do that to her? He charges up his laser cannon, heart full of vengeance, ready to unload. But Kizaru? Gone. Vanished. Like a toxic X-scene. Ignored. Disappeared. Lilith is screaming. Call Stella. We're dying out here. Usopp picks up the Denden Mushi like, "Ahai? Anyone still breathing?" Then Vegapunk comes through. "Wait. Don't panic. We cracked the code." Boom. Barrier system deactivated. Vegapunk is practically dancing. "Tell York to go sit on a Lego. We're free." York is furious. "You nerds are so irritating." Vegapunk turns to Sanji and Jinbei. "Gentlemen, grab my bags. We're leaving. And there's something really important in there." Spoiler alert. Probably not socks. Frankie yells, "We've got to move. Now." Vegapunk agrees. Barriers down. "Let's go." Is the Sunny and Vega Force in position? Frankie looks at him like, "About that." And that's when Kizaru walks in. "Shame. Your escape plan failed." Everyone freezes. Vegapunk, stunned. "How did you get in?" Kizaru just brushes off his coat. "Oh, yeah, I blew up that giant robot of yours, by the way." Everyone's about to pop a blood vessel. This man just wrecked years of R&D like he was cleaning out his inbox. Kizaru shrugs. "This mission's too hard. I'd rather just end it quickly." "Sir, this is not DoorDash. You can't cancel a war because you're tired." Suddenly, the lab starts shaking. Marines look around. We're standing on clouds. Why is there an earthquake? And then, in the distance, a twisted, stretched out Luffy silhouette appears. Voice echoing. "It's getting kinda hot in here." He cracks a grin. Boom! Gear 5 activates. The rubber god is back. Luffy's bouncing around like a cartoon Wukong on espresso. Tree to tree. Giggles echoing. The lab itself is shaking from raw energy. Vegapunk and his team freeze mid-panic. What the hell is that? Then a giant cartoon hand drops from the sky like it came straight out of Looney Tunes and snatches Kizaru like a fly on a sticky note. Everyone freezes. Even Brook, who doesn't have eyes, looks shocked. Luffy's up there, grinning like Joker in an amusement park. I crashed into the barrier twice. Thought I was going to get shredded. And then, boom. Final shot. The ancient Vega robot stirs. 200 years of nap time? Over. Its eyes glow. Energy pulses. Something big is coming. If you made it this far, you're not just watching One Piece. You're living it. Drop Gear 5 GOAT. In the comments if Luffy's return gave you chills. We're aiming for 10,000 subs before the Elbaf arc drops. So smash that subscribe button. Join the Nakama, and let's ride this journey together. Next episode, Zoro vs. Lucci. The ancient robot awakens. It's going to be peak fiction.